Welcome back to Random Thoughts. I am Ashley, and we are here today with your normal host, but our guest for today, Drea, aka the D Marie. And today we are going to be talking about endometriosis, and we are wrapping up our women's health series that Drea is hosting for this month.
Yes. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, so I had surgery in May 2025 on the 2nd to remove my uterus to help me with endometriosis.
And I have questions.
I'm ready.
So, first of all, I want to know, how did you know that something was wrong to even lead you to having this surgery?
Oh, wow. Yeah, 2010. I had this pain in my groin area, and it was coming out like a ball pushing up into my groin area, and every time I had my period, that ball would be there, and I'd be in so much pain. And so I eventually couldn't take it anymore, and I went to the ER because I told my doctor about it. She's like, "You want pain meds?" And I'm like, "I want to know what this is."
Right.
And getting no answers from her, I went to the ER. They said it was like a pus sac or something, and they drained it, and they were like, "You'll be okay." And I'm like, "Okay." So they packed it with gauze. They cut it open, they packed it with gauze, and sent me on my way. And I'm just like, "Okay, all right."
Is that something that they would normally do a biopsy on? I would feel like I would want a biopsy. You found a growth
right
under my skin. You're not gonna do tests on it?
To be honest, I just thought it was a hernia. And at this time in my life, I wasn't really good at advocating for myself. I was very shy. I was very poor. And I just kind of felt like, Dre, don't make any waves because it's only gonna cost you more money to look into.
True. And I hate that that's a thing. I even deal with. I have insurance. A crap ton of money comes out of my check every month for health insurance.
Yeah.
And yet I still am like, oh, this thing is bothering me, but is it worth me spending hundreds of dollars to figure out what it is?
Exactly.
It's terrible.
And so I didn't push any further. I'm just like, it is what it is. Then after that I got fibroids in my legs. And that was to the point where I couldn't even walk. So apparently I got the blood clots because I have lupus anticoagulable. So it's an autoimmune disease, and it causes me to create these blood clots in my legs.
Dang.
And there's nothing I will ever do to stop them. I have to stay on blood thinners the rest of my life. And so I was dealing with the blood thinners. I was dealing with the blood clots. I was moving, and
I would imagine too that the blood thinners were affecting your periods.
Oh
too,
yeah,
right?
They were making them super heavy. It was even worse. So that was by then that was 2012. Many years I'm dealing with heavy, terrible periods, and I'm just like, it is what it is. Life is lifing. I then get bariatric surgery because I'm like, this is more important than dealing with that because I'm still I'm poor. So I'm dealing with that, and it wasn't until one day I was in so much pain, but I didn't want to go to the ER because ER is really expensive. I went to my doctor's office. I made an appointment. I'm like, I am in pain. You keep giving me pain meds. She had me on a monthly regimen of pain meds, and hard stuff like Oxycontin. And it was so bad that when I finally stopped taking it, I had withdrawals. It was that bad. And so I made an appointment, but she wasn't in the office that day, and I got another doctor. And she took one look at me and said, "You have endometriosis from the symptoms you're explaining, and no one here can help you with that. You need to go see an OB." Because my doctor was an everything doctor. I just assumed, she'd let me know. She's like, "No, you need to go see an OB." So I made an appointment with an OB. I told her that the doctor said I had endometriosis. She sent me to several specialists, did lots of scans, and she's like, "You have really bad fibroids." we're going to put you on Depo-Provera to shrink them.
So how did they know that you had fibroids? Did they give you an ultrasound?
Yes.
Okay.
So I had about 2 ultrasounds. I went and had that mass biopsied. I had a full body scan, and the answer was, we're going to put you on Depo to shrink it. And after a year, it...
What kind of changes did you experience with the Depo?
Hot flashes. It was terrible. I was sweating all the time. I had hot flashes. She did warn me. She said, you'll feel like you're going through menopause. And I'm like, thanks. Wonderful. And I just started dating again, too. So I'm like, hi, yeah, we're on a date. And I'm thinking, oh, my God.
Of course. God's timing is always perfect.
Right? So I'm sweating to death. I'm explaining to her. And then, like, he and I are starting to get serious. And I'm like, oh my God, can I have kids? So I see another specialist, and they're like, oh yeah, the fibroids are on the outside of your uterus. If you want to have kids, you can still have kids. Because mind you, I was 35 at this time. So I'm like, yo, this is like it. I don't want to be an old mom. I want to like knock out having another baby. And then we ended up breaking up, so I just stopped thinking about it. And then like continuation of terrible periods. Like my period just kept ramping up and getting worse. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm bleeding all the time. I see the doctor about the Depo. She's like, we can stop it because it's actually not shrinking the fibroids. I'm like, okay, and what do we do now?
Right. What's the next step?
She had nothing for me, so I just stopped going. I was like, I don't care. Like, why am I spending all this money just for you to look at me and go, I don't know. Right. And I get it. Like, medicine isn't a perfect science. It's like, let's try this, then try that.
Yeah.
But I just felt like because that didn't work, she didn't try anything else.
Yeah.
And that frustrated me. So I just kind of stopped seeing everyone except for getting my yearly checkups. And then I was battling with mental health and my seasonal depression. And so I stopped thinking about, my periods because I'm like, I got to stop crying and feeling miserable all the time. Let's work on that. So I start seeing a therapist and getting on the right kind of antidepressant to feel better. And I'm like, okay, I feel better. But I'm tired all the time. So
is the lethargicness or tiredness an attribute of endometriosis?
So I wasn't sure.
Okay.
So I tell my main doctor, hey, this is a new doctor, not the let's drug you up doctor.
Right.
I switched doctors. I was like, okay, if I can't advocate with myself because I don't feel comfortable, at least go find a new doctor.
Yeah.
So I did do that. And I'm telling her, like, I'm exhausted. She runs some tests. I have anemia. And so she sends me to a hematologist specialist.
Which is crazy because isn't anemia, doesn't that thin your blood? But you were on blood thinners.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And matter of fact, I did know I was anemic because when I was dealing with my blood clots, I had gone to one ER and they're like, oh, you're anemic. And I'm like, what does that have to do with what I came into the ER about, which was not being able to walk? And they're like, I don't know, if you feel like that, come back again. I was failed on several levels. So I go to see the doctor. I mention the anemia. She's like, yeah, you're anemic. Let's get you over to a hematologist. Go see a hematologist. He's like, you are so anemic. We need to put you on infusions. So I'm like, okay, let's get on infusions. This was year before last, so 2023.
How long did the infusions last?
By the time I got my period again, the infusion was gone. It's like my whole body just flushed all the extra iron out.
So was it something they just had you do one time?
No, I was doing it every 2 months. I was getting infusions constantly.
So when did you stop? What was the duration of you receiving infusions?
So I want to say last year in August was the last infusion I had because I also started taking more over-the-counter iron to help. But my hematologist was like, okay, we got to figure out what's wrong because you're here getting infusions and your numbers are still dropping. Do you have heavy periods? I'm like, yeah, monstrously heavy. I have fibroids. And they're like, have you seen an OB? I don't trust doctors because they have failed me so often. No, I haven't seen an OB. So he wrote me a script to go see, a referral to go see an OB. Get to the OB. I don't like her. I didn't like her because I felt like she knew nothing about me. I walk in and I tell her all the stuff that I'm going through, and she's like, well, I mean, we could put you on birth control. That was her first answer. We could put you on birth control. And I'm like, I've already done that. And then she's like, I don't know, we could do like implant. Ma'am, I have blood clots and I'm on a blood thinner, so an IUD is not a good idea. She's like, yeah, not a good idea. I don't know, what do you want? And I'm like,
what do you want?
that is literally word for word what she said to me. What do you want?
Wow, that's crazy.
Right? So I just went, I'd like a hysterectomy. And she goes, at 24, you want a hysterectomy? Ma'am, are you looking at my chart? I'm 42. So I'm like, let's give it a dyslexic moment.
Wow.
She's like at 24, and then she looks down at my chart again and goes, oh, wow, you look every. Thank you.
Thanks, but also you suck.
Right? So I was so frustrated with her. And she's like, well, I mean, I don't know if anyone's going to actually do a hysterectomy for you because of your weight. You know, it might be like a risk that you could die in surgery and no one's going to want to do it. But I'll refer you anyway. I'm not going back to her. I'm going to find another new doctor.
Right.
So I get referred to a specialist in Chapel Hill.
And doesn't it make you mad when you find a doctor, like, just knowing how much money they got paid to, like, give you such horrible advice?
Right?
Like, you wish you could,
What
like,
do
file
you
a
want?
claim, like, okay, insurance, don't pay this person because
Right?
they suck.
Seriously. I'm like, what do you want? She seriously said to me, what do you want?
I mean, it kind of surprised me, but it kind of doesn't, because we live in a society where, like, every other ad on TV is for a drug, and so doctors now are relying on patients to come to them and be like, I saw this commercial and it talked about, like, these symptoms, and I think that I have that, and it was a prescription for, like, this drug, so I need this drug. Can you give me this drug?
I feel like we almost have to do the research for ourselves.
Yeah.
What are we paying you for? But anyway, I get to this doctor, and I wish I could remember her name. I think it's Dr. Asher. I don't know. All I know is she's amazing. So I get there, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting.
As most do at doctors.
Right, and I'm thinking, why is it taking her so long to come in and talk to me? She gets in, and she's just like, I had to read your whole chart. I wanted to understand what's going on.
Thank God.
Girl, I was so happy she said that. I didn't even care that I was waiting
Right.
there for so long. And she's like running down my entire history and explaining things to me that I didn't even know. So my diagnosis of
And
lupus,
what kind of doctor is she again?
she is she's a surgeon, gynecologist surgeon. So she's not like a regular gynecologist,
Okay.
so I couldn't switch to her.
Right.
She's specifically a surgeon.
Right.
But she was amazing. She read every note in every chart, and she's explaining things to me I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like my diagnosis of lupus erythematosus, it was in my chart, but no one ever told me. Every time I asked, why do I have blood clots? The vascular doctor I saw went, I don't know, it's like a thing that can happen to people. It could be hereditary. It could be. Like, that is what he said to me, literally. And the other hematologist I saw before this one, she said, I don't know, you have lupus. And I'm like, I have lupus? Like,
oh my god.
And then when I see her, she goes, oh, you don't have lupus. So no one explained anything to me. So she's explaining to me that I have lupus erythematosus and what it means and what it's like. And she's like, no one explained that to you? I'm like, no one's ever explained that to me. She's like, okay. So she's running down everything for me. She's like, okay, so you went through that, and then you have bariatric surgery. And she's like, I can see from the scans you did in your bariatric surgery that your uterus is overextended. So you're telling me there's an actual picture of what looked like inside of me and nobody did anything at all because it didn't have anything to do with the surgery they're working on. They couldn't even mention it to me.
Such BS.
Didn't even mention it to me. So she's like, I can see from this scan how huge the fibroids are, how huge your uterus is. Like, this is insane that you've been dealing with this. She's like, and you're in pain. I'm like, ma'am, I feel like I'm having contractions.
Am I?
Every time I get
Right.
my period, I'm doubled over in pain. I'm bleeding so bad, I'm worried that I'm gonna bleed all over the house. Like, I'm having the worst time of my life, and I would love to end this pain. And so she explains to me we're going to get more scans to see what's going on. We have the scans done about a month later. and it turns out my uterus is the same size of a uterus of a 6-month pregnant woman.
Dang.
And it's been sitting on my bladder all this time. And
so did that affect your like continence too? Like because it was on your bladder, like when you...
Surprisingly, no.
Oh, I would think that it would.
Yeah, surprisingly, no. I've never had any issues. I mean,
That's good.
Since I've been an adult, I haven't had any issues. I was a vet when I was a kid, but my uterus wasn't giant when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's showing me like pictures of several fibroids that are really, really big. And so she's like, we're going to do the hysterectomy. They're going to leave my ovaries so I don't get like thrown into menopause.
Yeah.
And
so what are some of the like... So is there, I mean, without a uterus, like obviously childbirth is no longer, right?
No.
Did you kind of like deal with like a sense of loss from that?
I did, and I was surprised. I didn't think I would, because I always told myself after 35 I wouldn't want any more kids anyway. I'll be honest, when I turned 40 and I was in a relationship and the guy I was dating had young kids, I did think about like, oh, what if I could do it just one more? It's only 40. It's not that far off. It didn't happen, and I'm actually kind of glad it didn't, because I'm like, I don't know that I want to start all over again. So like logically in my head, I'm like, I really don't want to start all over again. But when I realized I was getting a hysterectomy and I can't have kids,
it's the finality of it.
Yes, I had.
Because you don't like being told that you can or can't do something. Yeah,
exactly. I had a sense of mourning, and I did have like 2 days of crying it out. Like, not that I'm not grateful for the one daughter I've had.
Right.
I'm very grateful for her. She's absolutely amazing. But I did want more kids. I did want a big family.
You do have a big family.
I do have a big family. And I have so many kids I love and that love me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm grateful for everything I have. And I think that's what I ended it with. Like, your life is good. You did get to have your baby.
Yeah.
No, you didn't get to have her in the way you wanted, because I had to have a C-section due to other medical issues. But it was just that loss, that finality that this will never happen. There's no accidentally having a kid. There's nothing. You're
so
done.
Not to sound naive, but I'm not like familiar with even my own anatomy apparently. But like without a uterus, you're still able to have a period? Because I wouldn't.
No.
Oh,
no.
So you don't have a period?
No more period.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
Girl, I'm so happy.
Like, so you get to not have a period, but also not have to deal with menopause?
No period.
Like, that is like hitting the lottery, girl.
I've been so happy. Like, you just don't know. Even right after surgery, like, my stomach felt flattered, like, because they took that giant uterus out. I just kept staring at myself. I mean, I'm a big girl, so I got a stomach. But to feel like, oh my God, it's not so hard. Like, it was really hard, and it's not hard anymore. I'm not, doubled over in pain anymore. I'm not crying anymore. I'm not worried if I'm going to bleed all over the house anymore. I just been so happy.
So I was out of town when you had the surgery in Colombia. Were there any complications during the surgery, or did everything go according to plan?
So originally, they were supposed to remove my cervix. They're supposed to remove my cervix so that there'd be no chance of the endometriosis or fibroids coming back. So actually, I had to have 2 surgeons, a general surgeon and my gynecological surgeon, because yes, I had fibroids, and that was what the gynecologist was dealing with. But the endometriosis, which was that big bump growing up under my skin, was they have to make sure they get it all to make sure it doesn't come back again. So they were worried that it was attached to the muscles of my skin. So they needed a general surgeon. So
you had 2 different surgeons.
I had 2 surgeons.
Wow.
I had a 4-hour surgery.
Wow.
And it actually lasted 5 hours.
Who went with you to surgery?
My mom, my sister, and my niece. And they while I was in surgery, they went off, but they did come back, and because they were worried that after 5 hours they hadn't heard anything. So it lasted an hour longer.
Okay.
There were complications with getting my uterus out because it was so big.
That's crazy.
I know. And
so they kind of like deliver it like a baby, like.
So what they ended up doing, because they were supposed to do like a surgery where they went through like kind of like how they did my bariatric surgery.
Mm-hmm.
They take the micro whatever it is and go in the little slits in your stomach, and they even went through my belly button. I was like, oh, that's so weird. But they reopened my C-section scar and pulled it out that way.
Okay, so it was kind of like having another C-section.
Yes, exactly. And so it was a lot. So they were supposed to take out my cervix, but apparently there was some kind of complication with the cervix and the bladder, and they were gonna nick the bladder or something. So it was like, we're just going to leave it.
So was there any disadvantage to them having not taken the cervix?
I still have to get pap smears.
Okay. I mean, that's not a big deal.
No.
Yeah.
But they're not fun.
And then how long was the recovery period after the surgery? Like, obviously, in your mind, you're probably like, I'm still recovering.
I know.
But, like, how long did they keep you in the hospital?
Oh, I was gone same day.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
As soon as surgery was done,
I'd be like, no, you are not letting me out.
Yeah.
I'm staying overnight.
Yeah, nope, they cleaned me up and
That's
sent me home.
Crazy.
I know. I was nuts. I'm not going to lie, like, I warned them before I went in. I have anxiety. I've had several surgeries due to a car accident that they would put the mask over your mouth to put you
breathing
to sleep.
tube, yeah.
The first time someone tried to do that to me, I freaked out and I smacked them. Like, I don't like that stuff on my face. So I made that very clear. It was in my chart. And as soon as I got into surgery, like, yes, I'm loopy because they gave me a shot of meds. But they went to put the mask on and I was still awake. I was like, hey! I told you I don't want that. What are we doing? And so the nurse handed it to me. She's like, here, you can put it on yourself. If that makes you feel better. Right? That's what I did. I was so scared. And then my doctor, the one who explained everything to me, and the other surgeon, they made me want to cry, and I'm trying not to cry now.
Aww.
They helped me put it on my face, and they explained to me that I was in control and that this is what I always wanted, and I'm gonna come out of this so much better than I was, and that I was a powerful, strong woman who could get
those are this. Amazing doctors.
They were
they need to teach a lesson to other doctors on how to be a doctor.
Legit, even the nurses were so amazing. Yeah. Like, I just kept trying to remember everyone's names because when I came in, there was a sign that said,
your nurses today are blah blah blah.
Well, no, but it was like you can nominate your nurses for a Daisy Award or something. So like as they're like helping me get cleaned up to go home, I'm like, what's your name?
Yeah.
What's your name? But I'm on drugs, so I can't remember everything, and I'm like, somebody get a pen. I need to remember everyone's names. And I couldn't remember. I'm like, I want it. Guys, UNC Chapel Hill is absolutely amazing. I would go there again. I recommend it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. The nurses there were amazing. The doctor was amazing. Like, the entire team at UNC Chapel Hill was just amazing. It was so wonderful. It was a great experience. I drifted off wonderfully. Like,
did you wake up loopy, like talking crazy?
I did. Well, no, I
wish somebody would have recorded you like coming to. Like,
I don't think I woke up crazy.
Because if you talk crazy in your sleep, I'm sure you talked crazy when you came out of it.
I went to sleep crazy. I kept telling my sister, "Tell Mom I'm sorry. I didn't make you my number one. You're just so much more knowledgeable medically. That's why I made you my number one." She's like, "Mommy understands. It's okay. It's okay." And I was like, "Let her know I love her." Girl, I was so stressed that I could die in this surgery.
Wait, so where was Angel? Because you said your mom and your sister. Okay.
She was at work.
I'm sure she was a nervous wreck.
She was. Yeah. And she wanted to take off work, but I was like, to do what? Pace the house? Like, you're not going to come because you said you don't want to come.
It was probably best that she was there working. Yeah.
I was like, at least at work you're going to be busy.
So now post-surgery, you immediately coming out of the hospital, like, would you say that you're still in recovery, or would you say that you're like fully healed now? Like, what are some of the things that you experience in the period of recovery?
So the first couple of things was like everything was painful. I was constantly wearing like it looked like a waist trainer, but it was like a belly binder or whatever.
A faja.
I didn't wear a faja. It was just the one that goes around you like a waist trainer. You snap it on. Although I do own a faja, so
Yes,
I'm
as
like,
all women should.
I might wear, I don't know. I do wear things more often than I used to, even
Yeah.
just around the house, because it just felt like, yes, I'm not as hard, but my stomach feels
Yeah.
heavy now.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, everything is heavy. Um, I was a lot slower. I feel like, because I've had a lot of surgeries, guys. I had a really bad car accident when I was 21, and I had several surgeries due to that, and angel C-section, but I always felt like I bounced back so fast.
Yeah.
But this
It
surgery
was different.
was so different. Like, I just felt slow. Like, even when I was leaving, I told my boss, "Oh yeah, like I heal so easy. I'll be back in 3 weeks. It'll be whatever." Girl, I needed that full month
Yeah.
off. I needed it. I just felt
Which is crazy considering that they let you out of the hospital immediately.
yeah.
That's so weird.
I spent the first week just sleeping. The second week, I was forcing myself to walk. Like, my mom had a walker, so I was like forcing myself to walk around the house and walk in circles. The third week, I was like, I'm going home. I don't need to be here. I love you guys. I stayed with my parents because they wanted to make sure I was okay and able to get around and stuff.
Thank God for that support.
Right. So the third week, I went home and I kept trying to force myself because I'm like, I'm going back to work the fourth week. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So I kept trying to force myself to stay up and get out and do things. And midday I'd be tired. Like, for example, Angel was home from work one day and her friend wanted to go with us to a buffet. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh yeah, let's go to the buffet, guys. We can hang out. We can do everything. No lie, halfway through eating, I just suddenly went, I'm tired, guys. Kept happening like that whole week. Every time I tried to force myself to get out and do something, I'd just be like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And so the next week, I took it as okay, Jay, let's do the opposite. Let's spend this whole week just resting. Because I wanted to go back to work in June. I was like, I have to go back. Also because, like, yes, my job is amazing. They did give me 6 weeks off from work. The only thing is, with the benefits, 100% was only covered for the first 4 weeks. Okay. The next 2 weeks would be 60%. Yeah. I can't afford that. Right. I got a house. I got to pay my bills. I got to pay my mortgage. So I was like, I don't care how we do it, but we're going to force ourselves to go back to work. So I spent the last week sleeping. I will say, even though it's been like the slowest recovery ever, I am in week 9 now, I think. 9, maybe 10. We're in July. I feel good.
I was going to say, you seem kind of like normalized.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm back to myself. I went to my first water aerobics class with my mom last week.
Hey, I wanted to go with you to that.
I'll let you know next time. It was so spare of the moment. My mom was like, let's go. I was like, okay. So I went to my first water aerobics. Last week I went to the gym for the first time. Because my doctors had told me, like, I gotta wait 8 to 12 weeks, and I'm just like, I can't anymore. Yeah. I actually enjoy working out. I need
so looking ahead now, like post-recovery, post-surgery, like what, if anything, is next for you health-wise? Like, you mentioned that, like, you had been told that you had something before, but because other things were bothering you, you kind of put it on the back burner. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that you've been putting on the back burner that now that you have the endometriosis, like, checked off the list and gotten that under control, like, is there anything next for you that you want to focus on health-wise?
I think I want to get back to working on my weight. Like, I had bariatric surgery back in 2015, and I did lose 100 pounds the first year. But then my seasonal depression kicked in, and I gained it all back. I think because I've done it before, I can do it again.
You can.
And now I have less excuses. Like, there's no, I'm on my period, I need to lay down. Right. I have no period to deal with anymore. So I want to focus on my weight loss. I also,
I wonder too if you having that the fibroids taken out, that was the size of a 6-month-old baby, like, if that'll also just make things a little bit easier for you.
I think it will, for sure. But I do also need to think about my current recovery. If you guys watched in the video, if you've been following along with the series, I had spoken to Erica about her fibroids and things, and she had let me know there's a lot more you need to think about after having surgery. So I do need to, one, find a new OBGYN. So I want to focus on continuing my gynecological health, find a new OBGYN, make sure I'm doing all the things I need to do after, because I need to be on hormones. They did let me know, they did prescribe some for me. They were like, we need you to be on this hormone. I need to read more up on it. I'm here's my problem. When people tell me things, I forget almost instantly. Like you already explained it to me. You told me it's good. I realize it's good, so I'm gonna take the pill. So I can't tell you what I'm taking the pill for. I just know it has to do with hormones. It's a pill. It works. So I'm like, I need to find a new OB.
Yeah.
I need to make sure I'm on the right medication and those things. So I think I want to focus on that as well as continued weight loss.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to inform myself as well as our viewers on your endometriosis journey and all that it entailed. And viewers, if you have any questions about her endometriosis journey, she is the perfect person to ask because she's experienced it firsthand.
I have.
Thank you so much, Drea.
Oh, thank you, Ashley, for inviting me here today. I really enjoyed it.
All right, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and do all of the things. And thank you for having me be your host today.
All right. Comment below.
Bye.
Bye.